Hey, hi, hello and welcome back. You might notice I'm in my car. I just needed to get out of the house and clear my head. Life is very, very stressful at the moment for me. And I don't really know how else to process it all. So I'm just making videos talking about it. It's great to just have you guys along and your support with what's going on. So in the last vlog, I talked about whether I go back to my day job and just sort of sit there and wait for stuff to happen, or if I go into my business and really make that work and go full time. So that decision has actually been stripped away from me since making that vlog, in a lot of ways. Not fully, but in a lot of ways. I got pulled into a meeting along with everybody else, and this happened very quickly, not, even a couple of days after I posted the vlog. Not just me, by the way, I wasn't the only one in the meeting, and they basically told us that they're going to be restructuring and that we're going into consultation. Now, for anybody that kind of understands business, that is basically them saying that they're going to have to make people redundant. They are very clear that they're not making people redundant straight away, and it's a last resort. However, we all know what that means. We all know that my job is no longer secure. So I may not have the decision to make, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it does put a lot of pressure on me. I need to be able to figure out what I'm going to do. Financially, I've not been in the best position for quite a few years, and actually going part-time from a financial point of view was probably a mistake. However, it has really helped my mental health, and I think life is much more about how I feel in myself and whether I'm going to be happy living my life is much more important than money. When I got my paycheck, I realised I'd made a big financial mistake and that I wasn't going to be able to cover my bills. My family have been amazing and just supportive and saying, look, we can help you with certain things, but it would just be 1 month I struggle, then they help me and I pay those bills, and then the next month I'm going to struggle as well. So the way I've got to see this is, long term, how can I make sure that I'm in a position where if I did need to take a risk like running the business, if I were to be made redundant, what could I do to make sure that I can survive? I've had to make one of the hardest decisions I've ever had to make. And that is moving back home to my parents. It's not something I wanted to do. I do love my parents and I love their house, of course I do. But I love my own space and I love what I have there. I love that I have Marge. I enjoyed the freedom, the quietness. I'd only kind of just gotten used to living on my own and actually found myself in a really happy place where, okay, yeah, I live on my own, but I'm happy. The problem that I've got now is that I haven't really got that choice unless I want to really fall into some financial issues. And I don't think that's a sensible idea in the long term. I need to be able to get some money behind me before I make those sorts of decisions. From a mental health point of view, going part-time was the best thing I could have done. And I refuse to go back to full-time in a job that I don't like. The pressure's too high for me to start the business straight away, full-time. So this is me basically telling you that I'm moving back to my parents. People keep telling me that it's not a failure. And I don't think moving back to my parents is a failure. It doesn't mean I failed. But what it does mean is that I've maybe not been responsible. Or maybe I'm being responsible by doing it. I'm not sure. I don't know where I sit with all of this. Everybody's telling me it's the best decision. And yes, from a financial point of view, yeah, it might be the best decision. From a point of view of being comfortable and being able to live, fairly lavishly, yeah, it's the right decision. There's no question about that. It's just whether it's a failure on my part because I made a rash decision to try and make myself happy, and it kind of has backfired a little bit. I think over the next coming months, once I'm fully moved out of the flat and I'm settled, I'm hoping it will come to fruition that this was the right decision. Mentally, knowing that I'm going to have money behind me because the bills at my parents will be a lot less than what I'm paying at the moment, I think there will be an element of happiness there, that I won't have the same pressure, and it is just a life reset. I just find that I do feel like I'm constantly restarting. When I moved into that flat, I moved in with my ex-partner, and within a year he'd left, and I basically had to restart my life. And then when I left my job, because I was being bullied, and got into my current full-time job, that was like a reset as well. I just feel like I'm constantly resetting. I swear I've reset more times at the age of 30 than most people have in their lives. Maybe I'm wrong with that, but yeah, it is a real challenge to try and keep a fair head with this, and not to lose my mind thinking that I keep failing and failing again. Do I think that I failed with this? I'm not sure. I don't think so. A lot of people are telling me that I've not, but also I try to be really real with myself. I try and tell myself if I'm being ridiculous, or if I need a sort of a smack up the arse, I try and give that to myself. So I'm just trying to be realistic with what this is actually going to look like. I have the most wonderful parents. They financially are trying to support me as I make this move. They emotionally are supporting me. I'm going to try not to get emotional. I don't know what I would do without them. But this is a really hard time for me, because I'm stepping back. I moved out of there thinking that I was moving on in life, and now I'm moving back. It's a hard decision to make. It really, really is. But also, these sorts of decisions have to be made to make sure that I'm actually going to succeed in life, and sometimes it does take that reset to get everything up together. It's hugely mixed feelings on my part, but I am also very blessed to be in the decision, in the situation where I can go back home if I need to. So to my parents, I'm so grateful that you've allowed me to come back and let me paint the room and make it look great. I've got some incredible friends in my life as well who, there's no judgment. I called them and said, look, I've made this decision, I need to move back home. It's the only way that I can survive at the moment. And they were like, we're with you, we'll help you move. And that's exactly what they've done. I mean, they've been amazing. They've gone there when I'm not even there to sort stuff out for me and with me. And I've not been able to take time off of work. So it is super stressful moving at the moment. I don't know how much of that I can actually vlog. I've tried to get some footage, but it's not a vlog. So I think I'm going to go for my walk now. I will take my camera and just show you a little bit of my walk, because it's a really nice area that I'm walking in. But I will continue to upload on YouTube. I think that this is a really good way of me to offload stuff, even if nobody sees it or nobody cares. It means that it's something I can process. And watching myself back when I'm editing, I can see things that I want to change. I can see things that I want to fix. I can hear a different perspective rather than just being in my head all the time. So it's super helpful being able to do this. I'm going to go for this walk, and I hope you enjoy the footage. I'll see you in the next one. Take care. God bless.
The tide comes in, pulls some sand back into the ocean. The land is lost, another fight it cannot win. The cycle begins. The clouds come in, turn from white to gray, then fade to nothing. They fall down to the ground just to be reborn again. The sun